When France is forcing these countries to deposit their bank reserves with France, that's a coup, an economic coup. President Tinubu, what have you done about this coup? You are sitting on the big boy chair now. Talk to me. What are you going to do about this coup? When France is making sure that all natural resources for these countries belong to France, that's a coup. What are you going to do about it, Ecowas? These are coups. But somehow, we don't see them as coups, because it's the white men doing it. If a black man was doing the same thing to another black man, oh, you know, they'll call them out in a heartbeat.
Hello and welcome to Van TV Media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends to get daily updates.
So my people, welcome back to Van TV Media, and if you're new, please just consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, you'll be the first one to view. My people, we are happy to see African rising up. We are now happy to see people here in Africa coming together and trying to protect Ibrahim Traoré, because you remember most countries that are from West are trying to fight Ibrahim Traoré. Most countries here in the world, the West people are trying to make sure that Ibrahim Traoré is supposed to be assassinated. And you remember Ibrahim Traoré has there was so many assassination attempt onto him, and he has conquered them. And as I am speaking right now, we've now seen most African people, some of the African leaders have now decided to say that they are ready to fight the enemy of Ibrahim Traoré. They are ready to conquer with Ibrahim Traoré, and they are ready to support Ibrahim Traoré. Just listen to these clips and we will be back, my people.
Have you heard that Ecowas, led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and co, are asking Captain Ibrahim Traoré to hand over to democratically elected government and leave office? Leave office to where? Leave office, my foot. How dare you? How dare you ask Captain Ibrahim Traoré to step down? Hand over to who? Hand over to leaders who will sit down on their hands. Have you seen what Ibrahim Traoré is doing in Burkina Faso? Have you seen the motivation that is motivating other African leaders? Have you seen that even when Donald Trump invited him, he turned him down? Vladimir Putin invited him, he turned him down. Made him offers, he turned them down. Check out what is happening in Burkina Faso. He has imported 900 tractors, more than 500 4x4 pickups. Look at the tractors, look at the equipment that he brought in straight and handed over to the presidential coordinators so that they can help to restructure, to rebuild and reposition Burkina Faso's economy, and by extension, Africa. How dare you ask a progressive youth who is delivering to hand over? We don't care whether he is a military man or not. Yes, he has no political experience, but we thank God that he has no political experience, because if Captain Ibrahim Traoré has a political experience, maybe he would have been stealing and siphoning the Burkina Faso's money to France. But he has shut down France, he has shut down everywhere. I want you to spread this message to everyone that cares to listen. We are rooting for Captain Ibrahim Traoré to be the president of Burkina Faso. If there has to be a democratic president, let him remove his military uniform and contest. And if it is possible for you people to give us, progressive Nigerians, ability to vote we will vote for Ibrahim Traoré. What nonsense are you talking about asking him to step down? Asking him to step down my foot. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is the new face of Africa. Is the good thing that is happening to him. It's an answered prayer for African youth. I know that it is not easy. It has not been easy. Can you imagine how many death attempts on his life already, and none of them succeed? Look at him the other day playing football without security. A young man who said, I don't want any other thing but my salary, and he didn't increase his salary to a president's salary. His salary remains the captain level salary. He has not taken anything. He recently declared his asset of having less than $200,000 in his account. He has about $126,000 in his account. He doesn't even have up to $200,000 in his account as a president of a nation, and you want him to step down. He is not going anywhere. Ibrahim Traoré is the new thing that has happened to Africa, and a lot of us who are even older than him, we are learning from him. And I know that the new face of Africa is Ibrahim Traoré. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, we are saluting you, and we all over Africa, all over the black nation, we are rooting for you. Anybody, they don't burn anybody well to touch Captain Ibrahim Traoré. If you touch him, you have touched us, and we will come after you. I'm telling you, this is not making a threat, but this is telling you that nothing, God Almighty, inshallah, will protect Ibrahim Traoré. I'm saying this on this day that is Salah Day. Yes, Barakah Salah. Barakah Salah. Ibrahim Traoré, nothing is happening to you. I'm a Christian, but I support you. I'm a Nigerian, and I support you. And I pray that every other youth in Africa, in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Gambia, Egypt, everywhere, Ghana, Mali, everywhere, let's support Ibrahim Traoré. Nothing will happen to you. You are doing us proud. You are showing these criminals that we can do it. Come on, man. Let's support him. Spread the message around. Send it to these leaders. Send it to their political advisors. Let them know that what we want in Africa is a light of Ibrahim Traoré. And anything short of Ibrahim Traoré is a no-no. We don't want. Very soon, very soon, very soon, Nigeria is going to be the same. I'm telling you, mark today's day. Today is 31st day of March 2025. You're going to see what's going to happen.
When France is forcing these countries to deposit their bank reserves with France, that's a coup, an economic coup. President Tinubu, what have you done about this coup? You are sitting on the big boy chair now. Talk to me. What are you going to do about this coup? When France is making sure that all natural resources for these countries belong to France, that's a coup. What are you going to do about it, Ecowas? These are coups. But somehow, we don't see them as coups because it's the white men doing it. If a black man was doing the same thing to another black man, oh, you know, they'll call them out in a heartbeat. We have a serious problem as Africans. We don't even realize how sick we are with this disease. We are not just sick at home. We are not just sick in the doctor's waiting room. We are not just sick in the general ward in the hospital. We are in the intensive care. It's deep. What's happening in Burkina Faso must be supported. What's happening in Mali must be supported. What's happening in Niger must be supported. If you care the least bit about our future, how else are we going to get France out of Africa? How else are we going to get Britain, Germany, all those former colonizers? They're now in as multinationals.
I think when I was born, I was so surprised to see Africa still like this. Ask the young people, how far have you moved towards the agenda of Kwame Nkrumah? How far have you moved towards the agenda of Julius Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere? How far have you moved towards the agenda of Patrice Lumumba?
Of Congo.
Yes, of Congo.
Okay.
The late, who died in 1961. How far have you moved towards the agenda of other Pan-Africans like Thomas Sankara?
Which agenda in specific?
I mean the agenda of African unity.
We can have a coup. When they were trying to mobilize the military to go and fight Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Oh, we can have a coup. I said, help me understand something. France has had coups against these nations for centuries. When France is forcing these countries to deposit their bank reserves with France, that's a coup, an economic coup. President Tinubu, what have you done about this coup? You are sitting on the big boy chair now. Talk to me. What are you going to do about this coup?
Just for the purpose of the record, we had the Great Zimbabwe before you had Great Britain. Just so that you know. We were there as early as the 5th, 6th century. The British Kingdom can only be spoken about in the 17th century, which is yesterday. We were great before even the British knew how to bath. Before they even knew how to build a street, we were building empires. We are not from the Great Zimbabwe Kingdom. We are from the Great Zimbabwe Empire. And the Zimbabwe Empire worked together with the Congo, the Chitikulu empires within the Congo Basin. Monomotapa is from the 14th, 18th century. He was the last one. But before Monomotapa, we had Murenga, we had Tovera from the great spaces of Guruswa and Embo. So Monomotapa is the colonial history which they... And by the way, while we are there, let me be quick to remind you that the new name for Britain is now going to be called Pambe Fumi. I discovered it. I discovered a place where people's ears shine with the sun. I have found people who have no knees. I found tomb raiders. And we have decided to call them Pambe Fumi, which means the thieves of other people.
You see, Traoré has become a hero too, Professor. I and him will drink coffee about Traoré. But he's doing two good things, that he becomes an international icon. A young guy, younger than many of us. Traoré has changed the price of uranium. France was buying uranium from Burkina Faso for $1 billion every year. He stopped the French to buy his uranium. Today, Burkina Faso is making 85 billion from the same resource. We are selling uranium here. We have no nuclear power. We are just talking, everything is nuclear. We are just selling. Whether the Chinese are paying us the best price or not, we don't know. We are also afraid. What if they walk out of this deal? But Traoré, a young man, a soldier, has changed his country. That's why Traoré is now building up factories, processing plants of agro-processing, because he has resources. We have these resources. When we say some of these things must not be said in the open, but let's drink coffee and talk about the future of our country, we don't listen to one another. So, Foreign Minister, may your door be open for further engagement, deeper engagement in the national interest of our country, so that we start running, because we are crawling. We must start running. And this country has an opportunity to penetrate Africa, to penetrate the world, but we must run in and we must talk to one another so that we get the country going.
My people, we saw the fight where other countries were coming up, other leaders were coming up to fight against the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré. And we saw even the United States, even France, because you remember what made Ibrahim Traoré to say that he is no longer working with the France. It is the resources that is there in Africa. It is the resources that is there in Africa, and where most of the countries countries that are from the West were used to come to Africa to get the resources so that they can go and benefit themselves, leaving Africans to be without anything to put on. So that's why Ibrahim Traoré decided to say that as I am a leader of Burkina Faso, I am not supposed to allow what was happening here in Africa, where the France were coming in to do whatever they were doing. We saw most countries came up here in Africa, decided to cooperate with the West countries to make sure that Ibrahim Traoré to be put down. And we are, as we are talking now, we are now seeing other people are coming up. Some of the people are coming up to protect Ibrahim Traoré. Most Africans have risen up and have known that Ibrahim Traoré is the one of the best man who can make the future of this African continent to be better. So most African people, we are now, each and every country have even one person. In each and every country, we have some people who are coming up to say no oppression, to coming now to say no whenever they see someone fighting Ibrahim Traoré, they have to rise up and give a warning to such a person. And this is what has made Africans to be the way we are right now. We are now seeing Ibrahim Traoré trying to make give the spirit that he is having to each and every persons who are here in Africa. Most of the leaders here in Africa have got on what Ibrahim Traoré is trying to do, and they are trying to practice it. That's why you may find in some of the countries are not doing businesses with the countries that were said that are oppressing the African countries. Most of the resources that are here in Africa, most countries are now trying to get the resources so that they can benefit themselves instead of them benefiting other countries like there before. So this is what we are now seeing African being in a good position, and this is what we've now seen. Because you remember those days, Patricia Lumumba, you remember those days like Gaddafi, you remember those days like Sankara were assassinated. These people were killed because in Africa we had no unity the way we are now trying to see countries coming up with the unity. That's why you are now seeing Ibrahim Traoré is trying to conquer the enemy. You remember Michael Langley the other time, where Michael Langley said that was abused Ibrahim Traoré, saying that Ibrahim Traoré is using gold to enrich himself, he is using gold to do whatever he said. But you remember, youths came up in large number and said no to Michael Langley. Most part of the world and most part of the countries that are having black people came out and said no. They said that Ibrahim Traoré is supposed to do whatever he is trying to do. The black people said that white people must leave Ibrahim Traoré alone. And that's why you saw Ibrahim Traoré got more energy and got more power by knowing that here in Africa, the black people, the Caribbean people, and each and every person who are in different parts of the world who are stood with him. And what I can say is that people who are black, people who are the diehard of Ibrahim Traoré are supposed to be the way we are. The people who are the people who are supporting Ibrahim Traoré on whatever he's doing, we are urging them to maintain having that power and having that spirit to make sure that we conquer as African people.
Hello and welcome to Van TV Media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends to get daily updates.